Ladies and gentlemen, for the 25th time, welcome to the Essential Wrestling Podcast. I believe this is our silver week anniversary. Is that what we're going to call it? A week anniversary? I don't care. 25 episodes deep. There's 25 I'd ever thought I'd ever have in my entire life. So you know what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to run with it. We're glad to have you with us today on the Eastern Observer platform, on all of our Facebook platforms, and on the I-95 Sports Network on YouTube, as well as all you Zingo followers out there, channel 198 on Zingo TV. That's right, folks. This show is televised, all right? This is way bigger than what we're thinking it is. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, episode 25. This is our Hardy Brothers Explode match. We were just having a conversation. I believe Matt won that match. I believe it was a victory for Older Brothers everywhere. And I guess most importantly, the biggest takeaway from that WrestleMania, this is our holy crap, Ricky Steamboat can still go episode. Like, how awesome was that? Ricky the Dragon Steamboat out of completely left field had an absolutely Donnybrook with Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 25. With us, as always, once again, on the bottom part of your screen, we have our first ever PWP champion, the living legend, John DeConnie. John, how are you today?
Good, and in memory of that Steamboat performance, Al, a belated happy birthday, and I just want to say, you still got it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Like I said yesterday, I was celebrating more Pat Sajak than I do myself. John Smith, you're up on the top right corner. As always, how are things going today?
Great, man. Always glad to be here.
All right, sounds good. I just got confirmation from Ryan Joy, who's backstage right now. Matt Hardy did beat Jeff in Extreme Rules match. I remember the twist of fate in a chair now that I'm thinking about it out loud. So a victory for the Older Brothers everywhere, but we still got Owen Hart at 10. Don't ever forget that. On today's episode, the Young Bucks punched their ticket to Full Gear on Dynamite. Randy Orton wins his 14th world title at Hell in a Cell. Raw's getting their Survivor Series teams intact. Gary Mehaffy is back with us to discuss the huge NXT Championship match this week on NXT UK with Walter defending against Ilya Dragunov. Ryan Joy will be back as well. He's here to discuss all things New Japan Pro Wrestling, as well as the finals now. The finals are coming up for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship Tournament. We are down to 2. I'm going to reveal number 22 on my favorite WrestleMania Top 30 Countdown. That's right, folks. We are 22 weeks away from WrestleMania. Get excited. We make our picks for this week's upcoming matches, which is presented, as always, by MinutesToBellTime.com. All of the graphics and statistics you will see will be by MinutesToBellTime.com. That is Ryan Joy's baby, his pride and joy, no pun intended, half pun intended. And as well, as always, sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends, play against the universe. And with those picks, we are going to main event our show with Halloween Havoc and everything that was NXT, the craziness. That was NXT last Wednesday night. Holy crap. Pat McAfee, huh? All right. We were going to curtain jerk the show with Impact, with their version of WrestleMania. We have Bound for Glory, John DeContie, as our senior Impact correspondent. We have a new champion on Tuesday nights.
Yes, we have multiple new champions. We have a new world champion in the man Rich Swann, taking down Eric Young, the world-class maniac. This long program, all the psychology that went into it with Eric Young attacking him and Swann beating him up so terribly and destroying his ankle to the point where he was retiring, and then demanding the match coming out of retirement, being attacked again and again and again, and the match had every bit as much of the psychology as the whole build-up had. He started attacking the ankle early on, did Eric Young. Then Swann took an awkward fall on the ring apron on his way out of the ring for one of the spots, and immediately reached for his neck. So EY went after the head and neck for the rest of the match. But as luck would have it, Swann hits a springboard cutter followed by a Phoenix Splash. 1, 2, 3, new champion, baby.
And that's it. And Rich Swann becomes the 28th Impact Heavyweight Champion of all time. And that is not including the old NWA TNA days where Ken Shamrock was the first. That is part of his lineage. We'll get to Ken Shamrock in a second. But yeah, absolutely what we thought was just least I thought that Rich Swann, he got hurt, and Eric Young was just going to abuse him to the point of victory. But Rich Swann battled through it. All of the attacks that he endured the past since Slammiversary, what was that? August? So the past 2+ months.
Yep.
And Rich Swann got the job done. Our new Impact champion. The North regained the Impact Tag Team Championships. Ethan Page hit Karl Anderson in the head with the belt. And then Josh Alexander rolled him up for the pin right after. So now we're going to start a second reign for the North. And if it's anything remotely close to their first reign, they are going to have it for a while. They are absolutely amazing tag team. They took out Alex Shelley before the match even started. So the Guns were down a guy heading into this thing. No shame from Ace or Madman during this match or the Good Brothers. An absolutely phenomenal match headed with the tag team division. That is I wouldn't say it's AEW quality, but it's very, very good. So good showing by them. We have a new Knockouts champion. A little bit of a surprise. Kylie Ray no-showed. We still don't know where she is. We know she's alive according to reports, according to Uncle Dave. He mentioned that she's okay. So that's good to hear. Last time we had a situation with a guy no-showing. We don't have to mention, really too much about Chris Benoit, but that's, whew. So we're glad Kylie's okay with everything that's going on. But here comes Sue Young. Young Dead Bride is back, and she's now she's on her second reign as Knockouts Championship. She hit the panic switch for the pinfall on Deonna Purrazzo, and just going on social media, Deonna's not happy about this. She will be gunning to get her belt back, so hopefully we can continue with this. John Smith, Rhino called the shot to a point. He called the win. He came in at number 1, and like I said, he is Mr. Bound for Glory in my book.
Yeah, he is. I had him winning this the whole way. Apparently, an audible was called. You can SpongeBob that if you want. But I think that it was supposed to be his no matter what. Or at least in my heart of hearts, it was supposed to be. This was Bound for Glory is Rhino's show, and I was so psyched when he won this match. It's too bad for Heath, though, because, he was finally getting something going somewhere else, and now he's going into surgery on his abdomen or something like that. So.
Yeah, but the most important thing, he got that contract that he wanted, that enormous contract that Scott and Mort had wanted nothing to do with. So he's got a job. He's got kids. He needs that job. He's got it, but now he also needs surgery, which is unfortunate. So it just seems like a lot of wrestlers have been going down lately. Balor, we still haven't heard anything from. Rich Holland's out for a while. Chris Statlander, Abaddon apparently had a hellacious injury that we're not going to see apparently tomorrow night. But yeah, he got into the ring. He took a kick at Adam Thornstowe, and it was just done with that. I think a hernia, I believe it was.
What I heard.
Yeah. On a more positive note, Rohit Raju. All right, so I got one right. Rohit Raju is still an X Division champion. He stole a pinfall from TJP after he hit the Mama Splash on Trey. So I don't have the graphic here because it was not a part of the Defeat Rohit challenge, but that is still going to go. And we're onwards and upward. John Cena, we're coming for you. And one thing that actually Impact has actually done very well over the past couple of years is these cinematic matches. They've been doing them well before the pandemic era, I guess if you want to call it this match, the pandemic era of wrestling. It started back with the Hardys and Decay and the Ultimate Deletion and all that fun stuff, and they've just been rolling with it ever since. And I thought EC3 and Moose put on a nice little showing there. Moose, I guess there wasn't an official. I gave Moose the win on this one. One guy's a bloody mess getting carried out by his people. The other guy walks out with a title. I'll consider that a victory. So, according to Josh Matthews, EC3 sacrificed himself so that Moose could control his own narrative. So, take that for what it is. And then Hall of Famer Ken Shamrock. We mentioned Ken Shamrock. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm going to throw this graphic up here right now because not that many people know that there actually is an Impact Hall of Fame, and it's very small. They usually do one person per year, and this year just happens to be Ken Shamrock. And again, for those of you who don't know, when TNA started way back when in 2002 on their weekly pay-per-view shows, Ken Shamrock was their first champion. So he joins an illustrious, and look at these guys. These are all guys and girls. Like Gail Kim's up there too. All very instrumental in the success of Impact over the years. So Ken Shamrock now joins that list. So congratulations to Ken. He had Rock, he had Mick Foley, he had a lot of people say some really nice words about him. Ken actually had a very nice speech himself. It's funny to see Ken Shamrock the person and not the guy that's, five knuckle shuffle, trying to, and then he got the win over Eddie Edwards. He was in a single red crab, not looking too well. Sammy Callahan hit the phone. Ken Shamrock got up and put him in the ankle lock for the tap out. So Ken Shamrock, congratulations, and a big win for. So now he's 1-1 now at Bound for Glory. So good for him. These were our standings going in. I kind of took one on the chin on this show as well as Hell in a Cell. John DeConnie and Ryan Joy both went 4-2. Ryan got a couple extra points though in the long run. They are battling out for first place as far as Impact goes. Tyler just does not like participating in Impact, so let's probably take Tyler off this graphic for now. But coming up tonight on Impact, we own the night. Today is wedding day, boys. Rosemary and Johnny Bravo are getting married tonight, and the resurrection. Let me get that banner off, and the resurrection of Father James Mitchell will be tonight on Impact. So it'll be nice to see the Sinister Minister back on TV again. And we actually do have a match booked. We only have one match booked for tonight, Hardcore Halloween. We got Tommy Dreamer and Brian Myers. And John DeConnie will go to you first. But how awesome was the tribute to Animal by Tommy Dreamer on Saturday night?
Yeah, it almost felt like he wasn't booked to work that night because he was in and out in about a minute. But he made sure to make that minute count. Came out with the Animal haircut, the Animal face paint, the Animal T-shirt that's raising money for his family. And even performed a miniature doomsday device with Swoggle.
Swoggle out of left field. Not Ari Daivari, Sean Daivari, or they just went by Daivari. Daivari is absolutely ripped. Yes, and then the Cowboy James Stormer's back, but hopefully he can stick around for a little bit more. I know he's been in the news recently, John Smith. He was training with, I guess he was helping Ronda Rousey get back into ring shape. But who do you got for tonight? Is it Dreamer Myers going to go at it one last time?
I got to go with Myers since he's the new guy. He's the guy that needs to be getting the push going forward.
All right, yeah, I'll go Myers as well. John DeConnie?
I'm going to go with Dreamer just for the sake of the fact that it's a hardcore match, and if Dreamer can't win in a hardcore match, then, what are we doing?
When are they going to come out with a Myers Sucks Eggs shirt on? And then, so that was Saturday night. They wrapped up Bound for Glory. Another great show. Like I said, you can knock Impact on a lot of stuff. It's silly most of the times. Their wrestling is absolutely phenomenal. I love their in-ring stuff. So, I said with their roster blowing up after the pandemic, they got a lot of the casualties, and it's working out for them. And then we got Sunday night, Hell in a Cell. I thought it was an absolutely great show. And Randy Orton, I guess he's climbing up the ranks here, John DeConnie.
Yeah. There's no denying Randy. Not that there really ever was. I mean, he's kind of been touched by God since he got into the company, but now he's tied with your boy Triple H at 14 combined world titles, and there's not a whole lot more you can say about that. I mean, the guy he is wrestling.
Yeah, they said that this is the graphic right here. I did this for the New Day, so I'll do it with Randy too. Randy, he tied Triple H. They are both 2 behind Flair and Cena. I don't think Hulk Hogan gets a lot of credit when it comes to title reigns. I don't say it shocked me that he has 12. He had 6 WWE championships, with Vince and whatnot. He had 6 in WCW. So I think a lot of people sleep on Hogan, and a lot of people are sleeping on this too. Just the WWE championship alone. Not the world title or universal or anything like that. Randy actually just cleared Triple H. So now he's only chasing John Cena, who's got 13 WWE championship titles here. Title runs. I'm sorry. There was The Rock had 8. That kind of shocked me. And then Hogan and Austin both with 6. So, fun show. And then they said they climbed to the top of the cage, John DeConnie. Let's get a little bit into the match here.
Yeah, okay, so Randy attacked before the bell. He was dressed as a cameraman or whatnot in his black hoodie and black jeans. So he got after McIntyre before they even got inside the cell. Then when they got in the cell, McIntyre was the first to go for a weapon. He started with a chair, which didn't work out too well for him because he wound up getting hit in the knee with it shortly thereafter.
And that's his Claymore knee, too. That's his Claymore knee. That's
That was the Claymore knee. They made a very definitive point of telling you that. Then Randy stomped his head into the stairs a couple times and eventually went underneath the ring and found the bolt cutters that McIntyre had the week before to get them outside the cell and on top of the cell.
Yep.
McIntyre, perhaps ill-advised, followed him up there. Where Randy, surprise, had a lead pipe just waiting to wield that. And
Randy went full Jedi on Drew McIntyre. That was full Jedi right there. That was some dark Sith stuff right there from Randy Orton.
If the cage wasn't already red to the point where you almost didn't recognize it immediately, that would have been one of the greatest freeze frames of all time. Randy holding what looks like a Sith lightsaber on top of the cage. Then they started to come down the other side of the cage towards the announce table, and by golly, somebody fell off and went through the table. And that was Drew McIntyre. Yeah,
and then it was downhill from there. They got back in the ring. Randy hit the RKO for the win. And we'll get into Randy more on our Raw segment right after this. So, but yeah, congratulations, Randy Orton. Like I said, the guy's been a lifer. It's been 2000. We're coming up on 16 years now, Randy Orton, right? 2000. Well, no. Well, he was injured that first part. You kind of consider 2004 starting, but it was like 2002, 3, somewhere in there. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, they had a very well story told match. Let's put it down. And I say it that way because I feel like they were telling us verbally a story as the entire match was going on. I think they talked more than they wrestled, but it's the family feud, and they pulled out your heartstrings, and here comes Jimmy trying to save his brother. It was just. It was very well done. I thought this was a very from the rumors going around. We can SpongeBob this one too. As the rumors get started, this match was never supposed to happen, but the match at Clash of Champions went off so well, they extended it an extra month. So kudos to Jey Uso, who tag team wrestlers done good. There's nothing else to do with him now. He main evented, not main event, but 2 Universal title matches. One was a main event. So, speaking of main events and championships and women, John Smith, Sasha Banks got it done. Something we didn't think was going to happen for another 4 or 5 months or 22 weeks. How about that? Till WrestleMania. She becomes the 9th ever SmackDown Women's Champion.
We got a little egg on our faces. We've been talking about it for weeks. Bayley's has no chance of losing this title yet. But, I guess Vince has to throw us a curveball every once in a while. But you know what? I'm happy for how it ended up because they tore it down. It was nonstop, beginning to end. They messed up a little bit trying to tape 2 kendo sticks together. I don't know what that was all about.
Yeah.
But other than that, though, I mean, they took some terrible looking bumps where it's like there's no way you protect yourself from that, and it was just great from beginning to end, I think, and. Good for you, Sasha. Now don't lose your first title defense.
Yeah, well, that's the big question. Is she finally going to have a successful single title defense here?
She's probably not.
And then, if you want to dig a little deeper into this, subscribe to the Body Slam Brigade. Ryan Joy had a really nice article on this whole build-up between Bayley and Sasha Banks throughout the years, all the way back from when they were in NXT. We know about the 2 huge matches they had down there, including the first ever female main evented WWE pay-per-view, that Iron Woman match, the second match in that series that they did down there. That was the first women's main event ever in history. But even before that, they crossed paths in a fatal 4-way with Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks won the belt. I believe Charlotte got involved at some point. So a really good in-depth read by the Body Slam Brigade and Ryan Joy. But this match, I feel like it takes all that. Like, all these matches that they've done were great, and I think this was the best out of them all.
Absolutely. And I don't think she's going to even have to defend that title until maybe TLC because we're building up to Survivor Series now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she still might lose her first title defense, but it might be 2 months from now.
He's giving her a long run and just not have her defend it.
Exactly.
The Miz defeated Otis to gain the Money in the Bank contract. So this becomes the second time in history that the Money in the Bank contract will not be cashed in by the person who won it. Mr. Kennedy was the first. He actually dropped at the Edge, and that was another one of Edge's 2 successful cash-ins. Wasn't how we thought it. We just kind of thought that Miz by hook or crook with help from Morrison, this, that, and the. I was not expecting a Tucker heel turn, John McConney.
No, me either. And I still don't really understand it. If you put them on separate, usually you turn on your tag team partner and you have yourself a nice rivalry for the next 6 months. They're on different shows. What was the point of that?
I don't know. I agree with Tucker. If I'm Tucker, I'm pissed too. Everything the focus is always on Otis and on a tag team that never works out well. So, but yeah, the fact that they're on different shows, I guess to be continued. I guess maybe some interpromotional warfare. Give them a match at Survivor Series, maybe. I don't know. Bobby Lashley defeated Slapjack to retain MVP's United States Championship in an added match. And then Elias defeated Jeff Hardy via disqualification. Everything that I said that match was going to happen happened, with the exception of the outcome where Elias is technically the victor. So, damn it, Jeff. Damn it. So, these are our standings, our WWE standings after Hell in a Cell. And again, I just did not do well. Ryan is right down there with me. When you lose, we both had Drew McIntyre. You lose a 10-point match, your scores tend to suffer when everyone else gets them right. But John DeConnie has taken over lead now in Impact and in WWE. So I guess just people going forward, listen to John DeConnie. He's on a roll right now.
Ooh, that could get dangerous.
Yeah. And as always, for those of you that did not watch the show last week or didn't hear about it, I'm going to throw this joke out there again just because it went over so well the first time. But Hell in a Cell was brought to you by Hell in a Cell. Please, for all your cell phone accessory needs, I believe the store is down in Guatemala. You can look them up on social media as well. That's where I got this picture from. But definitely go visit Hell in a Cell for all of your cell phone accessory needs.
Love it.
So, real quick rundown on SmackDown that's not Cell related. A lot of the stuff went to Hell in a Cell. But the show started with the Kevin Owens show, John DeConnie. And Kevin Owens, he's pitching an idea to Daniel Bryan to become a tag team. Do you like that?
I'm not sure I could love it anymore. You're talking about two of my favorite guys in the whole company. Two guys who I don't think have ever put on a bad match that I've seen. So if that does work out going forward, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I am too. And like I said, I rattled off what the tag divisions were after the draft, and the tag team division. It's the Street Profits, it's Rude and Ziggler, and it's Nakamura and Cesaro. So it was all the other teams that were in that 8-man tag team match. And the Street Profits won. They just don't seem to lose ever. It's just, I guess, to be continued. That see what Kevin Owens and KODB. I guess they wanted to be called Team Hell. What did they want to be called?
LKO.
LKO,
Yeah.
Very well done. Seth Rollins defeated Murphy with a curb stomp. Aaliyah Mysterio, as the wheel turns here with the Mysterios and Rollins and Murphy and everybody, she came down to try to save Murphy from the post-match whooping by Seth Rollins, and here comes Dom and Ray. They're just gonna keep going with this bit by bit, but now Fox, I guess, is gonna reap the benefits of the ratings on this one and not USA Network. Bianca Belair, for the third time in recent memory, defeated Selena Vega. This was the first time on SmackDown, though, with a KOD. John Smith, Lars saw it, I know. We hate Lars. Where is it? He beat Shorty G, and then Shorty G quit. Take it away.
Oh, man, I love that Shorty G quit because Chad Gable's back, baby.
Yes.
Chad Gable's back, and he's going to start suplexing people twice his size, and he's going to have a mean streak about him, and then we're never going to hear from him again, and it's going to be unfortunate. But it'll be a fun ride.
That was a great promo sitting in the trainer's rooms. Like, Shorty G to come. No, he can't. This is because Shorty. No, this is Chad Gable can though. He's an Olympian. He's an NCAA champion. There was one episode of 205 Live where Chad Gable was on it. They just really need to have him go to NXT or something and just destroy all the cruiserweights. Like he would just crush them all. But so welcome back, Chad Gable. We missed you. Glad to have you, buddy. On Raw, real quick. Actually, that real quick. It's kind of it's kind of a long show, but we can sum this up pretty quickly. The Firefly Funhouse started with a tea party, which was a lot of fun. Alexa Bliss, it's not the hurt and heal. She had something on her. Playing Pain, I believe, was on her glove, so that's fun. She's getting into this mad, right? That everyone's mad there. But then you kind of, the Randy Orton thing, and like I said, the Fiend doesn't forget. He's worse than an elephant, this Fiend. Randy Orton committed arson and then took the WWE Championship from Bray Wyatt about 3 years ago. And now, Bray hasn't forgotten, so there's going to be, and I like how Drew's still sticking around in this. I really would enjoy a big TLC triple threat. If they can spread it, over 2 months, which they probably could. If you can hold that off till TLC and hang that belt on a ladder and let the Fiend, Drew McIntyre, and Randy Orton, that would be a lot of fun. And then speaking of Drew McIntyre, Miz and Morrison interrupted his promo to call him a loser. McIntyre ended up, got upset by it. You got the Claymore on Miz. They had a match later tonight. Hit the Claymore on Miz. But always was that a fun promo by the Miz? Correct.
Awful promo by the Miz. It was one of the worst promos I've ever seen in my life. It went 3 minutes too long, man. Ugh.
All right, so John DeConnie, after the draft, you were in charge of putting together the Raw Survivor Series teams. You were on a pretty good roll there. You got a couple correct here. AJ Styles defeated Jeff Hardy with a phenomenal forearm. Keith Lee defeated Elias after the Spirit Bomb. Both of those matches had post-match interactions between Elias and Jeff Hardy, so they're going to still go. Sheamus beat Matt Riddle, though. That was the one that you actually, unintentionally you got wrong. Riddle got hit with the bro kick, so you did pretty good. Here are the men's Survivor Series team so far on our Survivor Series watch. Your thoughts and comments on all this?
Yeah, well, obviously AJ Styles, as I said from the very beginning, was, how do you not put AJ Styles there? And I even, a slight pat on the back, I even called out the part where he declared himself team captain before he even got down to the ring on that match. And you got Keith Lee. Who doesn't need a big monster like Keith Lee? And Sheamus, whatever.
Yeah, that was a very unstallion bro kick by Sheamus. Very unstallion bro kick. I guess Matt Riddle's still feeling the brunt of everything that's going on in the real world with him, I guess, right?
I suppose.
But then on the women's team, John DeConnie, I'm not, regardless of the other four that you had picked on this team, absolutely nailing to a T that Lana would somehow sneak her way into this match, and that's exactly what she did.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I don't think I could have. At that time, we were still hoping that the champs would have a match, so Nia and Shayna were kind of not even in the pool for me to think of. But Lana stumbling backwards into her place in the team. I love it. And then, just for good measure, just to remind everyone how much she is loved, she got put through the announce table for the 6th time.
I said last week, even the last 2 times, like the 4th time, all right, enough is enough. Now I'm starting to feel that. This one made me laugh again, though. This is funny again. So I don't know. Maybe they just keep going. So we need to have put her on the feud challenge. She can catch John Cena 13 times at the table. And I think we're playing Russian roulette here, though. Nia is protecting her. I look every time her arm is behind Lana's neck.
Yep.
To protect that for all she's worth, because one wrong move, Lana is out, and then Nia is just in a bleep load of trouble. And then just going forward. What was that?
Big old 69.
Yeah, big old number 69 is going to be in trouble. And then just to continue the Survivor Series watch here, they mentioned these last night. Here are the champions versus champions matches as they're stated right now. I am excited. I would love to see 2020 Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. I know they had a little bit of a feud a couple of years back, but times have changed. Things have changed. Roman's changed. I would love to see that. Asuka and Sasha, I don't care. I will see them. I know they just had a feud. Do it again. Bobby and Sammy would be pretty comical. I think Sammy will try to run for his life on that one. New Day and Street Profits. Another fun promo by the New Day making fun of the Street Profits. With their new hype person, Asuka, apparently. Asuka's going to be the new Big E. New Day. So that was pretty fun.
Please let that continue.
Lucha House Party defeated Akira Tozawa and Drew Gulak in a match that was more centered around trying to pin R-Truth for the 24/7 championship. Gentlemen, that was very good, very good. At this point in time, definitely go grab some groceries, say hello to your loved ones. We will definitely see you in a little bit to go over some AEW and Halloween Havoc. So please stand on by. We're going to bring back in Ireland's favorite child, Islanders' favorite child, Gary Mehaffy. Top of the evening to you, Gary.
Good evening, sir. How are you? I'm
doing well, but apparently I'm not doing as good as you, Gary. I literally just read maybe about a half an hour ago on Facebook that you were doing dishes to Christmas music. So I like your style.
Oh, yeah. I just was in the mood and thought, get the Spotify Christmas playlist on there. We went, bit of Mariah Carey. That's what everybody needs in October.
Exactly. Maybe we can do Halloween. Yeah, I like your style. I'm not the biggest Halloween guy, hence why I'm not dressed up for this episode. But Gary, this is the biggest week for you. This is a big week. We'll get to the championship at the end of the segment. Your thoughts on the Heritage Cup? Trent Seven snuck out a nice little win here. And what I thought, I think we both determined this was kind of a toss-up match.
Yeah, I mean it was a game for a change at the fifth round, but it was a really good match, and I know that Kenny Williams at the start wasn't everybody's choice when he won the three-way to get in, and everybody thought, oh, okay, but they had a really tight, really nice little match. Yeah. Trent Seven, somebody who I've never been sold on. I've gone, I don't get it, I don't understand it. But tell you what, he was superb in this style. It was absolutely brilliant. I genuinely really enjoyed it. They had a great little match that Trent came out on top of in the end, so it was well worth it. Yeah,
and you see, I don't want to, prejudge here, but Trent Seven, I guess he's been around for a couple of years now. I'd say more than 10, hovering around the 20 years. This was his first rounds match.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked. I was shocked a few weeks ago when they gave all their ages. I thought, okay, because he is in his late 30s. I was surprised that they did say that. Although everybody knows he's been around a while, but it is, as you say, it was his first rounds match because we've kind of in the UK, some people have got away from it, but I think this is bringing it back and it's getting a new appreciation for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're doing a great job. So the first round is in the books. The semifinals are both matches. I don't even know. Ryan Joy has both matches going for Thursday. I'm not exactly sure if that's correct. I would love it if there was. I know we got a big show this coming Thursday. Yeah. Noam Dar is going to fight A-Kid. And then they got the Bomber Day Mastiff and Trent Seven, that's going to be, wow. That's going to be hard-hitting.
Yeah, definitely. And it pains me to say, I mean, I know Noam Dar was your pick from the start, and it pains me to say that you may be right, but I can see the way the tea leaves are going, and it looks like Noam Dar might end up taking this whole thing.
Oh, that's the wrong graphic. Yeah, Noam Dar is still my pick. I picked him from the beginning. I'm gonna roll with him, but Dave Mastiff is just going to be a tough out, man. Like, I don't know if he's knocking people out now. If this is part of his thing, what's your gimmick? Oh, I'm a former. I think all the NXT UK guys, they were all bouncers or bartenders. But now, the bouncer guys are knocking people out. Yeah. I just got confirmation from Ryan Joy. They didn't announce anything, so we'll just go ahead, screw it. We'll just pick both matches now. Who do you like here?
I think I would look at it. I would probably go Noam Dar and Dave Mastiff would be my two calls for it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one too. I think we both are in agreement. It didn't matter who was winning between Trent Seven and Kenny Williams.
They were going to get knocked out. Yeah,
Bomber's going to be tough. I can't. Noam Dar has to be Eddie Guerrero like times 5 to somehow win that match against Bomber. If he makes it past A-Kid, A-Kid's not going to be a slouch either.
No, I think if it ends up with Noam Dar and Dave Mastiff, I mean, as good as a match as it would be, and as good as Noam Dar is, he does have that sneaky chicken heel type background as well, so he could very well do the kind of worried, trying to run away, trying to get out of it, trying to avoid Dave Mastiff for 6 rounds. So there could be good sort of good action and good fun to be had in that match as well.
Oh yeah. He'll make it entertaining. If I know I'm Dar, he's gonna make it entertaining. Eddie Dennis had a nice win over Oliver Carter. It was kind of, he does like a throwing razor's edge. I believe they call it the Splash Mountain Bomb.
Yeah.
Then post match, he asked Flash Morgan Webster and Andrews. Why am I blanking on his first name?
Mark
Andrews. Mark Andrews to join him next week for a special mediation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very surprised out of nowhere, because obviously Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster have both been attacked backstage, and there's kind of a whodunit. And now with Eddie Dennis having talked to Pretty Deadly a few weeks ago, it looked as if they were heading together to be a stable. So it will be interesting to see exactly what comes out of it. But I do think they've been doing in NXT UK, they really have been setting the seeds for their tag division and their women's division long term. So I think there'll be a few things in the tag side of it comes out of this.
Yeah, and speaking of the women's division, Nina Samuels and Amal, they had a match. They went at it after their I guess their tag team exploded after Nina Samuels walked away from her 2 weeks ago. Nina Samuels had the final act of the pinfall, and then backstage she called out Piper Niven. Now, is that smart? Like, I wouldn't. This is the last person I would call out.
I know, that would be like calling out Dave Mastiff. It's the sort of thing you go, no. I mean, you'll call out anybody else, but her. But no, I mean, fair play calling out Piper Niven. Now, it has to be said. And I do think, as I say, they're really trying to give good depth to the women's division, and I think that would be a nice little feud. That would be a nice little match. Nina Samuels and Piper Niven would be a good way to go. We give Nina a bit more exposure on the TV that she hasn't really had here. So.
No, yeah, she kind of fizzled out a little bit. She was an original. She was there on the first couple episodes, pre-Piper. I know Piper took a little bit to get there after the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah.
No, Nina's day one with NXT UK. So exactly, 100%. Nice to get her back on TV. Speaking of day one in NXT UK, Jordan Devlin is going to be back in action. The true cruiserweight champion, the Irish Ace. He will be making his first in-ring appearance post-pandemic, Gar.
Yeah, I mean, he's back, and obviously there was the talk of Joe Coffey coming back as well. I'm surprised that they're both coming back around about the same time. But Jordan Devlin, I mean, for people who have seen him know how good he is, and people who haven't, trust me, he is amazing. He's not just a Finn Balor wannabe. As has been sort of cast up to him over the years. He is a tremendous, he's just brilliant in ring. It really is. And I think the fact that they're giving him the cruiserweight belt, which obviously he never lost, is going to be a really interesting way, and will lead, hopefully, down the line to him crossing back across the States for a little while as well.
Yeah, so that promo he cut 2 weeks ago, like, he is furious. That they not even the interim cruiserweight championship tournament. This is how long ago it was. Tyler and I covered that, like the first 5 episodes of the Essential Wrestling Podcast. That's how long ago this was. Yeah. But they slowly but surely, and he pointed it out and grabbed. They just took away the word interim. Like Jordan Devlin didn't exist anymore, and he cut a promo. He's a very motivated Irish Ace right now, and anytime that when that cross paths. With him and hopefully it's Santos Escobar in some type of worlds collide here between NXT and NXT UK. That is going to. Oh my God.
Match if the Escobar Devlin match happens, oh my word, it will be another just take my money now moment.
So then that's going to bring us to the main event, Garrett. This is the big match that we've been waiting. Has to be 4 months for. Walter, the NXT UK champion, he's going to put the belt on the line against number 1 contender Ilya Dragunov, who we highlighted on your first segment here. He went through 19 of the top NXT UK guys there are in a battle royal to earn this match. Not to mention 2 weeks ago, He pinned Walter to give Walter his first loss. So here we go. This is built, I think, perfectly.
Oh, it really it has really built well, and it was interesting because they had the contract signing this week, and I thought, well, there maybe be a little bit of pushing and shoving. Oh my goodness, they were laying it in. I mean, Dragunov's chest was as red as the graphic at the top for the Essential Wrestling podcast. He was chopped to within an inch of his life. And honestly, the match they have next week is going to be hard hitting. There'll be high flying. There'll be, you name it, it's going to be in it. It will be go out of your way to watch it. And I know obviously it's got the special start time this week in the US. It's an hour earlier on the network because the clocks have changed over here.
Yeah,
but honestly, it is a match. It is a match that people will remember this match for a long, long time.
Yeah, I believe it's on at 4 o'clock. It's an hour later here for whatever reason. Yeah. So we're it's 4 p.m. Eastern time. And I still believe it's 8 a.m. British Mountain Time, right? Is that what you're on?
8 p.m. Yeah, 8 p.m. over here with us. Yeah.
All right. So Gary, who do you got? I guess this is the big question.
I'll have to get my invisible coin and pick it. I think that it'll just squeeze out. Walter will take it. I think that Walter might take it because I don't think the fact that they kind of have Pete Dunne hanging about in the background makes me think that Walter will squeeze it out, that his cronies, his henchmen might get involved, and when he wins and just about takes it, then he heads in the direction of Pete Dunne afterwards. So I think it'll be close, but I'm going for Walter.
Yeah, I want to pick Walter too. Like I said, this has been built perfectly for Dragunov, but I can't get out of my head that tag team match. That was mostly Pete Dunne doing the work on Walter, and even before that, like I said, during the Heritage Cup with Alexander Wolf and whatever, Pete Dunne's music played at the. It just seemed like it's Walter and Pete Dunne, and no one's gonna complain to see that again. So yeah, I'm gonna go Walter as well with you, Garrett. Garrett, thank you so much for hopping on with us tonight. We do
no problem.
Appreciate your time.
No, not any time, my friend. Always a pleasure, never a chore.
I like the sound of that. All right, Garrett, be well. We will see you back next week to recap this match and then hopefully go forward with the Heritage Cup.
See you then. Have a good one.
Have a good night, Garrett. So now we're going to bring back in Ryan Joy from minutestobelltime.com. Ryan, I completely apologize to keep putting you to work here when you're sitting in backstage, getting groceries with your loved ones here.
Garrett, he was the face. I'll be the heel. Always a chore, never a pleasure.
Yeah, I know. Well, here it is. I do believe we're going to kick things off real quick. I do believe you actually have a written statement apologizing to ProWrestlingPick'em.com for the accusations made last week.
You're right. I was wrong.
I'm listening to you. I'm like, I don't do it. The computer does it. Like, I don't do this.
Yeah, it was, I was in my head. I was like, Cody retained the title, but it doesn't count for a win.
After it was a no contest. Cody did not get the win on that. So neither did
everyone out there. Al was right.
So New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ryan, tell me what's going on here. I know we got Power Struggle coming up, but we got a couple of matches ahead of time first, though, right?
Yeah, that's right. Power Struggle is the next main show. It's really the last stop before Wrestle Kingdom in January. But they have a couple of Road 2 shows coming up this Sunday and Monday morning, 4:30 a.m. And the main events of both those shows are the Tag Team Championships. The first night.
We'll start with the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship first.
There you go. This is a rematch from the finals. Remember back over the summer, those titles were vacated, and they had a little tournament set up, and so this is a rematch of those finals.
Yeah, they had that pool play tournament. Yep. So who you got? I mean, I'm looking at LIJ right there. I really don't like to bet against them, even though, like I said, I did.
It's kind of a toss-up. I think I'm gonna go with Suzuki-gun. No reason.
Suzuki-gun. He's a bad man, Minoru Suzuki. He's a bad man. And then you said on Monday's November 2nd, right? Monday, November 2nd. The heavyweight tag team championships will be on the line as well.
That's right. Saber and Tai Chi are defending, and Goto and Yoshihashi are seeking to be double champs. They're currently 2/3 of the Never Openweight 6-man championship team. So this is interesting. Kind of came out of nowhere in one of the Road to Power Struggle matches. Yoshihashi laid down the challenge to Saber and Tai Chi. I mean, we'll see. If nothing else, the G1 showed us that Yoshihashi can have some killer matches. So all 4 of those guys can really go. Whenever Saber's in there, it's a real blend of styles. So
he's so fun.
He is fun.
Is so much fun to watch.
I think I'll pick Saber and Tai Chi. I think they're going to retain.
Yeah, I'll give them the retention too. If I'm taking the title change on the first, I'll take the title retention. Like I said, Tai Chi, they took those belts off of Kota Ibushi and Tanahashi, so that was not a small undertaking, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, and I think they're going to want to keep those guys together, bring them through. There's the World Tag League is coming up, and that'll be a round robin tournament just like the G1. So they'll want to have that team in there.
Yeah, kind of hoping the Good Brothers can make it overseas for that, as well as everybody else, like the Guerrillas of Destiny, amongst others.
Yep.
That have been stuck stateside. Hopefully they can get overseas to partake in that. But then he said Summer Struggle. I told you I was going to do it. Power Struggle. It's a pretty big event. We have about 8 matches. We're going to highlight 2 of them now. Before next Saturday, November 7th. It's the same day as Full Gear. We have 2 matches, and like I was just saying earlier, Minoru Suzuki is a bad man.
He is. Now, interestingly, since you brought up Summer Struggle, this is a rematch from Summer Struggle in Jingu Stadium. Shingo was the champion going into that match, but Minoru Suzuki and him they punched each other until finally Suzuki gave him a gotch-style pile driver and took the pin. So a lot of attention on this. They met the G1. It's going to be, I would expect, a very good match.
Yeah, very hard-hitting match. Very hard-hitting. And then, as you mentioned, the United States Championship opportunity, the right to challenge, I believe they call it, for Jon Moxley.
That's right.
That is on the line as well.
Yeah, Kenta won the New Japan Cup USA tournament earlier this year. He's carrying around the right to challenge briefcase. There's a big dent in it that's all kind of taped up because he smashed that over Tanahashi's face during the G1 tournament.
Yeah.
So Tanahashi is challenging for that.
Ever a reason to fight somebody, Ryan? If you get smashed in the face with the briefcase, that's as good a reason as any.
Yeah, and the reward for keeping that briefcase is facing Jon Moxley.
It's
like, I don't know why. I think maybe somebody should just give up. I know you're going to move off of New Japan here, but we talked about a number of championships at the top of the show.
Yes.
And we specifically talked about Hulk Hogan. He has 6 WWE championships. He has 6 WCW championships.
Yes.
It is also a little controversial, but he is, in some people consider him to be the first ever IWGP Heavyweight Champion from 1983. Yeah, he won that title. They defended it annually, and then ultimately they replaced that with the current version of the IWGP Championship in '87. So, little controversy, but maybe you could call Hogan a 13-time champion.
Yeah, they don't recognize other companies. I think this is more of a. Yeah, I guess.
You're right.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think they're going to recognize. I mean, other than the companies that they own, right? That's where you can put WCW and the NWA version of WCW and.
That's right. Yep.
So, who did we have? Who did you pick for those winners? We had 2 matches. We'll pick them now. Those 2 matches, the 2 title matches. I'm going to go Suzuki, and I'm going to go Kenta.
Yeah, I think Kenta is going to win the briefcase. In the past, they've had G1 and all these things where they defend that briefcase. Never has the briefcase ever changed hands.
Okay.
So I think the briefcase will remain with Kenta. And in the other match, yeah, I like Suzuki too.
Yeah, I'm never going to bet. I'm going to tell you this right now. I am never going to bet against Minoru Suzuki.
Maybe I'll try for that November 7th. Maybe I'll try to like grow his hairstyle on. Yeah, might go for that.
Switching gears to Ring of Honor, we have our finals set for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship Tournament. And some might, I guess you can call it an upset here. We had Jay Lethal, Jersey Jay, going to the finals here, and he got hot sauce in the eyes, I guess, right?
Yeah, I was 50% right with my picks for the finals, and maybe I guess it was all kind of too good to be true. But yeah, Lethal ran out of rope breaks, and that's kind of what we talked about with this tournament. You get 3 rope breaks, and as these matches get longer, you need it more. So it was kind of the story of the match. Lethal used a rope break really early, perhaps out of instinct, a little. Which meant when it came time later in the match, he didn't have one to get out of the submission move. So Tracy Williams ended up getting the win. And then Gresham, I did pick him to go in the finals. He won with a sunset flip. So 2 very different finishes.
You don't see too many people win with the sun flip. Not even in the 24/7 division did they win with the sun flip. Just a straight up roll up. So who do you got in the finals? I'm assuming the finals are on their next episode.
I want to say Gresham, but this feels like a Tracy Williams, coming out party. So
that's the phrase I was gonna let you figure it out, but that was the phrase that hit my head.
So I think I'm gonna pick Gresham just because in the beginning I said it's gonna be Lethal and Gresham. Gresham feels like the pure guy, so I'll stick with Gresham, even though it really does feel like it's leaning towards Tracy now.
Yeah, like I said, I'll go with Tracy. Well, I'll go against the grain here. It seems like that's all I've been freaking doing lately. So, I'll go with Hot Sauce Williams here. I can't believe he beat Jay Lethal. That was shocking when I saw that. And then one more big match. We really don't talk about the NWA too often, but when we do, it's going to involve either 1 or 2 people. And this woman right here is one of those 2, the NWA Women's Champion, Thunder Rosa. She's going to have, I guess, the rematch with Serena Deeb. I know they wrestled on Dynamite. I believe they wrestled on Dynamite, but then they were supposed to have an NWA Championship match a little bit ago, and then COVID concerns hit, so they got delayed till now.
Yeah, that's right. Thunder Rosa ended up having a really good match with Priscilla Kelly instead a few weeks ago. But yes, now we're coming back to this. They did have a match on Dynamite. It went about 13 minutes. It's probably the longest women's match that's been on Dynamite all year. And it was really very, very good.
Yes, it was.
For 2 women that were not under contract with AEW at the time.
Yeah.
It was a really great show. And now they have a rematch on pay-per-view tonight. So
yeah, I'm gonna go Thunder Rosa. I'm not gonna bet against her anytime soon.
You don't bet against Thunder Rosa.
No, not against somebody who's not even under contract with them. Right? You got an AEW wrestler going. Like, what's?
Yeah.
So, Ryan, we're going to kick you off for all of 2 seconds real quick. Thank you for bringing up the NWA. Like I said, it's between her and Nick Aldis. We will definitely mention them. They're 2 big champions, and we'll make sure we keep everybody informed on what's going on with them. But we're going to bring back in John Smith. Is John Smith there? All right, so we'll bring there he is. There, that's John the County. John Smith, you got some great.
I'm just in time, man. Oh, the line at the self-checkout was crazy. I had to get some groceries for my loved one.
Groceries. There you go. All right, now we're even. I made you cry last week. You made me cry this week. We're even now. Ryan, as our senior AEW correspondent, as I mentioned at the top of the show, the Young Bucks, they punched their ticket to Full Gear.
Yeah, I was there again live for that show, and crowd was into that match, like really into that match. Alex Reynolds took a massive hit though halfway through the match, and he just kind of laid there until Blade carried him to the corner. Kind of spooky. But yes, the Bucks punched their ticket to Full Gear. They'll be facing FTR, who didn't waste any time in, going to work on the Young Bucks.
Now it was good to see Tully do the spike power drive again, and that was pretty cool.
In disguise, he just shows up in the ring. You know?
Yeah, it's good. So we're finally getting the match that we wanted to see between the Crevival and the Young Bucks. John Smith, you had your hand up?
No, I was just gonna say I thought that was Tully at first, and then when he jumped off the top or off the second rope, I was like, "Oh no, that can't be him." And then he took the mask off, and it was him. I was flabbergasted. I didn't know that he still could do stuff like that.
You know, one other thing about that match, there's only about 500 fans in the arena, but if it was a full crowd, you would have realized how over John Silver is, because when he took his little run, people were going ballistic in the crowd.
I know, dude. He's turning himself into like the best. He had an absolutely hysterical promo too, backstage before the match.
He's only about 6 inches taller than Hornswoggle, but inch for inch, he's got talent.
In our AEW in the Eliminator #1 Contenders tournament, Warlord defeated Jungle Boy with an F10. And as Jim Ross reminded us twice during this match, remember, folks, athletic big men sell tickets. So, Q for Warlow, F10's twice as good as the F5, right? That's the reason for that.
Yeah.
Adam Page defeated Colt Cabana with the buckshot. Ray Phoenix got the victory for the Younger Brothers around the world against Penta L0M after a destroyer. Unfortunately, he was injured in the match, so Penta is going to replace Penta. You're my best friend, Penta. You're my best friend. He's going to replace Phoenix in the tournament, which Phoenix was not happy about when they did their post-match the interview. I guess online, I believe it was an exclusive. Then you got this guy, the mega champion of AAA. PWI's top 500 #1 wrestler in the world and Wrestling Observer's Wrestler of the Year in 2018. Sports Illustrated's Wrestler of the Year in 2017. He's broken the Meltzer 5-star scale 7 times. That's 35 stars out of Dave Meltzer. Incredible. He has the highest rated singles and tag team matches of all time. He is so fluent in Japanese, he sometimes translates for Michael Nakazawa. That's impressive. He once performed in North Carolina. Kenny Omega, unbelievable. And then absolutely just destroyed. It was a V-trigger into the one-winged angel on Jersey. Sonny Kiss. Joey Janela had COVID concerns. Sonny came in, and then Kenny had the cleaner girls dancing at the top of the ramp. He's gone full cleaner here, guys. So this is going to be the next set of matches. We'll do Kenny first. Kenny's going to go again. Oh, Penta, you're my best friend. Penta L0M. This match, speaking of 5 stars, speaking of 35 stars, actually, this match is going to be absolutely nuts. So Ryan Joy, as our senior AEW correspondent, who do you got?
Oh, the cleaner all the way. All the way to the finals.
Cleaner all the way to the finals. John Smith.
Yeah, gotta go with Kenny O.
All right, I'll hop on the Kenny O bandwagon too, and it breaks my heart. John DeConnie.
Yeah, make it unanimous.
Okay, and then we got the other end of it right there, and I guess Hangman Adam Page, 4-0 singles action. He's going to be going up against Wardlow, the War Dog. So we're going to make this unanimous as well. I'll go the other way around now. John DeConnie.
Yeah, Hangman for me.
John Smith.
Yeah, it's got to be Hangman.
It has. If it's the winners of these 2 matches fight on pay-per-view. Ryan Joy. Are we going to see Kenny Omega and Wardlow?
I appreciate the hesitation from John Smith there, because it would just kind of be interesting, at least, if they didn't do that. But I got to go with Hangman.
Yeah, you had an interesting theory from last week. Like, what if they end up costing each other? Like, is there a way? But they just stayed away from each other. I don't even think they're going to cost each other.
Yeah, I mean, in order for that to, I don't think you see Wardlow or Pentagon, Penta L0M getting a title shot. So it feels like it's got to be those guys.
Yeah. Britt Baker defeated Kylie King with a curb stomp, followed by the lockjaw. And then, like I said, speaking of the winner of the tournament gets an AEW championship match. Now, they actually booked for Full Gear. They booked, it's going to be Jon Moxley defending against Eddie Kingston in an I Quit match. And Eddie Kingston threw out a promo. And I can honestly tell you, I mean, he was upset. Moxley sold out. He went to that company, that entertainment company that doesn't give a crap about wrestling. And to tell you what, I got just as fired up too. Who the hell? Vince McMahon is nothing but entertainment. Doesn't give a crap about wrestling like AEW does. Going forward, how awesome was that dance number between Chris Jericho and MJF on the Dinner David Air? That was pretty awesome, right?
You switched topics real quick there because you didn't want me to question whether I was getting points for the Casino Battle Royal with Eddie Kingston.
You never got limit, but he already lost the match that he earned because of that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We're past that. But yeah, Eddie Kingston trashed WWE for being an entertainment company, and then went right to Chris Jericho dancing with MJF at a dinner party.
Talk about a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
My jaw was on the seat in front of me. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
So actually, they're going to have a town hall discussion. Speaking of entertaining, so here we go. Let's just not wrestle even more. MJF and Chris Jericho, they're going to have a town hall discussion. I believe they're going to make the decision of whether or not MJF will be allowed into the inner circle. I don't think it's going to happen. John Nakani, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time deciding what's more entertaining. Them letting him in and him immediately butting heads with Jericho, or them saying, nah, we pass. But as long as these two stay in each other's orbit, that's guaranteed entertainment. So I'm going to say no.
Yeah, this could go exactly. You say that, and I kind of jumped the gun saying no, but you're right. He'll be in. And, yeah. But are these, Ryan Joy, are these two better as, like, half-butting adversaries, but eventually getting along, or do you want to see them fight? Like,
I think that they have really good chemistry from an entertainment perspective. So I sort of feel like we're going to see this play out for a little bit longer. I think they're going to have some sort of competition at Full Gear. Maybe it's an arm wrestling contest. Maybe it's a dance-off. I don't know, but probably not a wrestling match yet.
you think John Smith, you think they'll have a steak eating contest with blue steaks, right? I know that's the first time I've ever heard of that. I would just use the word raw, but Jericho used the word blue.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's how I like my steak, but I always tell them I like it blue and cold in the middle. But I think that what would be cool is if they decided on MJF had to beat everybody in a separate contest. You know, all four members of the inner circle, like one in a dance-off, one in an arm wrestling match, one in a, you know, and he would have to go through the gauntlet, like an initiation kind of thing.
But none of it's wrestling. It would all just be like, like an Olympics, like an inner circle Olympics. There you go.
Yeah.
Is it a package deal? Does Wardlow go too, or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, no worse for MJF. He doesn't even have an AEW contract. Last time I heard. That's the last time he said. Just last thing. Speaking of steaks, just give me the cow. I'll carve up what I want and ride the rest home. Dennis Leary, ladies and gentlemen. That wasn't me. That's Dennis Leary. Darby Allin is also now doing jackass stunts with Steve-O, so that's fun. As I mentioned earlier, Abaddon apparently suffered a pretty awful injury. She was supposed to have a match with Tay Conti tomorrow night, and tomorrow night's episode is already taped. I don't believe they're airing it unless anyone has heard otherwise. I heard they're just gonna, because it was just so bad that they're not even gonna air it. So unfortunately, the one woman that screams Halloween more than Shotzi Blackheart is not going to make her appearance to go up against Halloween Havoc. So, Abaddon, feel better. We hope to see you soon. I'll tell you what, that one time she was on Dynamite scared the crap out of me. But so I thought big things were coming with her, and it just hadn't started yet. But
well, they already had her ranked as number 3, so clearly she was getting in position to make a run. Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's been winning a lot of matches on Dark, so that's. We'll get to Dark in a second, and then the big thing that they're putting up against Halloween Havoc tomorrow night, Orange Cassidy is on to Cincinnati, and by Cincinnati he means Cody. He's going to get another crack at the TNT Championship It's going to be a lumberjack match. The Dark Order said they wanted to be at ringside, and to make sure. I guess Brody wants his belt back to get Brody his belt back, but then I guess TNA officials, listen to me. AEW officials, they wanted other wrestlers on the ringside as well, so the Dark Order wouldn't just gain control of this match here. But we're going at it again one more time. We're gonna go another time limit draw here, John Smith.
Orange Cassidy, please win this match. Please.
Don DeConnie.
You know what? I'm going to go with Cassidy here because just like last time, they found a really interesting way of not making him look bad after the whole Jericho rub. Unless they can come up with a way of doing it again, I think he's kind of got to win.
I honestly, I don't know. I guess we had the near fall finish last time. They said if that match, Ryan Joy, if that match was 20 minutes and 1 second, Orange Cassidy would have had the win. I can't see them letting Cody. I don't know. I just can't see them.
So here's what I think. Just my thoughts.
Yeah.
I think Cassidy wins, but I think the Dark Order plays a big role, and I think we get Brody, Cody 3 at Full Gear.
And that's not for the title. And then Darby Allin's got the winner at Full Gear.
Cassidy goes to Darby, Brody goes to Cody goes to Brody, and that's your Full Gear card.
All right. Okay, I'll go with that one. I was on the fence. I actually had no idea. I didn't really think it through too much, but
it seems weird that they would tape a title change, but
yeah. But it's going up against Halloween Havoc. You got to keep people, and this is the whole thing. You got to keep people's eyes on AEW and not on NXT. So, but more importantly, we all know that Impact. Whoa, they own the night. But tonight, right now, Ryan Joy and he brought something to my attention on AEW Dark, and I have to make this public as an obligation of who I am and where I'm from in the wonderful state of New Jersey. We have a team called Jersey Muscle fighting tonight on AEW Dark with Danny Limelight as they take on the Jurassic Express. I know nothing. I've never heard of this guy. Apparently, they're from Union. But Jersey Muscle will be making their debut. Ryan Joy, did you look up anything while you were while you were on Gorilla?
No. I know Danny Limelight. I don't really know much about Jersey Muscle at all, except for the things you've already said. In fact, they are making their debut tonight. Maybe they have already done it, 707. So I'm going to pick Jurassic Express if you're asking me about it.
Well, here's all you need to know about Jersey Muscle, Ryan, all right? Look at the guy that's on the right of you. Look at the guy that's on the right of you. Look at the guy that's up there, and then look at the guy that's above you. That's Jersey Muscle all right here, Ryan.
So you guys are taking on Jurassic Express?
Yes, we're going to be taking on the Jurassic Express tonight.
Don't let Marco out of the ring. Isolate Marco on your side. Look, it's right here on my Arn Anderson clipboard. Isolate Marco.
But we are going. So we're going to switch now to. We're going to go Halloween Havoc. This is going to be in the Central Wrestling Podcast pool. This is on ProWrestlingPick'em.com. So please make sure you go to ProWrestlingPick'em.com. If you want to play against us in the Essential Wrestling Podcast pool, or if you want to create a pool with your friends to compete against them to prove that you're the best, that's always a fun thing to do. We've been doing that for a while now, and as I always love to give John DeConte his props. He is the first ever champion in my particular private pool. Ryan's got a poster. There we go.
No, they VHS.
Oh, it's a VHS, the best of Halloween Havoc.
Wow.
So going into Halloween Havoc, going into tonight, here are the standings. Again, I just got completely decimated this past weekend between Hell in the Cell and Bound for Glory. The only reason why I'm still in first is because I've had about 3 more shows picked than everybody else does. John DeConte is up my rear end. Everybody else did absolutely phenomenal in gaining on me. So there's been 22 shows counted towards the pool. And that's where we are right now. And here are NXT specific champions. Our correspondent has just been absolutely on fire with 22 wins and only 4 matches incorrect. John Smith, unbelievable.
Yeah, looking to keep it up today.
There you go. And here's the scoring for tonight's event as Shotzi howls at the moon. It's 5 points for an NXT title match. I do not believe Finn Balor is fighting tonight. He is not on the card. 3 points for all the other title matches. 1 point for non-title matches. And if you get everything correct, you get the 5-point perfect pay-per-view bonus. But I'm an idiot, so before we get into making our picks for Halloween Havoc, I didn't actually even change the draft either. On NXT, John Smith, Pat McAfee, out of nowhere. Not really out of nowhere. Some of us call it that, but Pat McAfee is the benefactor. He's the one that's taking out the Undisputed Era here, and we have new champions because of it.
Yeah, big fan of this. You know, give Birch and Lorcan some real quality time on TV. Give them those titles. They have a mouthpiece for them now. I mean, and we could see McAfee get back in the ring, I'm sure, eventually. You know, it's probably going to come out that, you know, he called an audible after they took out his hired gun. He went and hired the guys that took out his hired gun. I think that's going to be the way they set that up. But I mean, I'm not happy to see Breezango lose the titles or anything like that, but I think, you know, these guys deserve it, so we move forward.
Yeah, we definitely move forward. Like I said, I don't know if the original plan was, because you got to think, I don't even know if this is going to happen. Maybe, I don't know if you can fit 2 rings in the Capitol Wrestling Center for War Games, but, you know, Undisputed Era's got 4. Now, right now, Pat McAfee's got a group of 3. Maybe Rich Holland was supposed to be the 4th, and they're just going to kind of continue. Maybe somebody else will hop along to join them if they can do War Games. Like I said, that's still up in the air. We haven't heard any kind of announcement. Maybe tomorrow night we will. Ryan Joy, a huge triple threat match. Kushida, Tommaso Ciampa, and now we're going to involve the Velveteen Dream. And probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in pro wrestling. Tommaso Ciampa was pinning Kushida, or maybe the other way around, but the referee hit 2. The Dream kicked out and nobody was covering him. I almost fell out of my seat. But anyway, your thoughts on that match before we get into Halloween Havoc?
You know, I really, really, really like Kushida. He's coming off a big pay-per-view win, and now he's got this big win on, you know, against Ciampa. You know, it was a cast shot, and then Kushida stole the win. So, yeah, great. What's next?
This is an absolutely huge win for Kushida over 2 NXT mainstays. Like, you know, 2 guys that I've fought over the world title and I've made it into takeovers, and Kushida just beat them both the same time. So this is absolutely huge. Thank you.
Basically, because Finn Balor is absent, that Kushida the champion for me.
Maybe.
Who's going to dispute it?
John McConney, we had a 6-man tag team match. Legado del Fantasma as a unit, they've been doing very well together, and they picked up another win. This time it was the tag team guys. It was Wild and Mendoza. Yeah, that they were the ones that were responsible for the win this time, while Escobar was on the outside. I believe he got hit on a table. He got something hit on. I forget what it was.
Yeah, Atlas had hit a wheel DDT on the floor, and then decided to stay over him and curse him out in Spanish. While meanwhile, Wild and Mendoza in the ring hit a leg sweep, leg lariat combo on Adonis for the win. I got to tell you, this match from start to finish, I know Wild and Mendoza and Escobar are supposed to be the quintessence of Lucha Libre. The only problem that I ever have with Lucha Libre is sometimes it kind of looks more like a choreographed dance. That was not the case in this match. No. This match was just tearing it up from start to finish. I really, really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, it was absolutely, it was really good. And but now he said we got, you know, Jake Atlas seems like he's going to be the next guy gunning for Santos Escobar. Like I said, Atlas, I believe, Atlas was the one that beat him. No, Swerve was the one that beat him in the tournament. Atlas, I don't think Atlas is on that side of the bracket. Anyway, then Ember Moon defeated Jessica Mia. Ember Moon's got a new submission move. And then Dakota Kai kicked her in the side of the head post-match, saying, "You're not going to make remake your name off of me. Put your name in the back in the spotlight over me." So we got Dakota Kai and Ember Moon, which that'll be an absolutely amazing feud whenever that goes well. Bronson Reed beat Austin Theory twice, and therefore Austin Theory quit. He will also be coming back as Chad Gable, so look for 2 Chad Gables. Now Austin Theory, he talked trash. He got pinned the second time real quick. Got his car and bounced, and then he quit. So he's been on a really bad losing streak. So maybe if he's got a nice little story here, maybe it's like is he trying to do what Drake Maverick did?
Yeah.
Speaking of Drake Maverick, him and Killian Dane, they lost to Everrise by disqualification. John Smith, you're not on smiling. I'll let you take this one real quick.
Everything that Drake Maverick does is gold right now. It's like the music, it gets me every time. No matter what. Like I'm expecting it to come on, and I still crack up. And the dance that he does, eventually Killian Dane's gonna do that dance after they have a big win, and it's like Kane and Daniel Bryan, but it's even better than that.
Yeah, Killian Dane was in trouble, and Drake Maverick just took a steel chair and went off. And when he thought that Killian Dane was gonna be upset that Maverick cost him the match, that's what I'm looking for. That was awesome. So that was a really cool, fun moment. Timothy Thatcher beat up one of his students after one of his students got a little frisky in the ring during one of his Thatch can lessons. You don't want to do that. Thatcher made him pay for that one. All right, so now getting to Halloween Havoc. I completely apologize. I screwed up the score. I should have done that in a little bit. But we have Halloween Havoc starting right now. Let me see if I can get the first match. I believe it is a Haunted House of Terrors match. Which actually sounds like a lot. Let me get the graphic of it. Boom, gotta get Shotzi barking at the moon. There we go. So we have a Haunted House of Terrors match, John Smith, between 2 of your favorites, my favorite, Cameron Grimes. I know he's one of your favorites too, along with Dexter Loomis. What is this going to entail? What's going on? Who wins? There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah. I think Dexter Loomis comes out on top either way. I think it might end up being a cinematic match where there might be like no clear winner or loser or something, but Dexter Loomis is standing at the end, or who knows what happens from there. But I think it's going to be a cinematic match.
All right, Ryan Joy.
Yeah, it's Halloween Havoc. Loomis is creepy, so it's on motif. So Loomis for the win. John's probably right with the cinematic. I don't know how it's going to go, but that's my pick too.
Yeah, even Cameron Grimes was saying that in interviews. I don't know where this is going to happen. I don't know what this is going to be. Like, what is going on? So he doesn't even know. John DeConnie.
Yeah. If this match isn't tailor-made for Dexter Loomis, I don't know what is. So, yeah, put me down for Dexter as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go. That's going to be a clean sweep, but I don't like betting against Cameron Grimes, considering he comes out with some monumental wins, including Finn Balor and Damian Priest. But yeah, this is he doesn't even know what he's getting into, so it's not like he can normally plan for something, like screwy away cheat to win kind of. He doesn't even know what he's getting himself into right now, so there's no way he can game plan a cheap win here if he doesn't know what's going on. In a match last Wednesday, Casey Xylee, it's Cardinal mistake here, Cardinal sin. She's looking for a fight, and she needs a win desperately. So she goes after her Jersey girl. Jersey strong. There you go. There's Jersey muscle right there. Casey Catanzaro. Dumb mistake. You can't go after a Jersey girl if you're looking for a win here. So Casey beats Xylee after it was a pinning technique, quote unquote. That Casey Catanzaro out. Lee jumped Casey post-match saying she needed to win. And then here comes Raquel Gonzalez. She smashed everybody, including Kaden Carter as well. And then she just shot a promo to promote this match. This one's gonna be hard hitting, boys. We got two big. They're gonna get at it. John DeConnie, who do you got?
Oh boy, I'm gonna go with Rhea just because I don't know that much about Raquel. I imagine they'll do this more than once, and eventually Raquel will come out on top as Rhea moves on. But give me Rhea in the first one.
All right. Ryan Joy?
Yeah, I think so too. I think that they've really focused on Raquel Gonzalez, but they're not ready to pull the trigger, so Rhea.
Okay. I'll take Rhea Ripley as well. John Smith?
I'm trying to think of any way that Rhea wouldn't win this, but I think it's got to be her. Yeah.
Now, is it the only way Raquel sneaks out some kind of maybe just they put Rhea and Mercedes in a cage right away. Like, can you go some kind of gimmick here? Raquel Gonzalez, I don't want to say good enough, seasoned enough, maybe is a better phrase for it, but Mercedes Martinez is she's a tenured wrestler. You can pull off something real quick with her. I know Raquel Gonzalez, she was in that second Mae Young Classic, and it took her this long really to get on TV and in this spot. So she's still fairly, I guess, green is the word.
Right? Kai too.
Yeah, Dakota Kai can help out with a win here. Yeah, there's a lot you can do here. So we have 2 championship matches coming up. Spin the wheel, make the deal. Was the stipulation for these 2 matches. Fun segment after Gargano's. Johnny was practicing, and he got a buried alive match and a casket match. This wheel wants me dead. It was a really funny segment. Candace got the trick or street fight. It's something that was not as death as what Johnny was getting, but for historical purposes, like I said, Ryan, you might actually have these 2 matches. On that cassette tape that you have, the best of Halloween Havoc. Spin the Wheel, Make a Deal was actually, that's happened twice before in 1992 and 1993. Here are the 2 matches. The first one was actually Sting versus Jake the Snake Roberts from 1992. It was a Spin the Wheel, Make a Deal match with the coal miner's glove stipulation. Yeah. Coal miner's glove.
It's on the best of Halloween Havoc.
What's that?
It is on the best of Halloween Havoc.
I'm sure it is. Sting pinned Jake Roberts after hitting him with the coal miner's glove, which caused a snake Roberts was holding to turn on Jake and bite him in the face.
True. It's on the DVD.
There you go. And then the one from 1993 actually was a WCW World Heavyweight Championship match between champion Big Van Vader and Cactus Jack. The wheel spun Texas Death Match. That was fun.
At the time of this VHS is released, those 2 guys were under contract with WWE.
Yeah, okay. So that match wasn't on there. So the Texas Death Match was pretty much, I guess, it's just for them, it was the falls count anywhere. But you had to answer the 10 count. One of those things, you pinned the guy, then they had 10 seconds to get up. What ended up happening was Big Van Vader, he pinned Cactus Jack after a DDT onto the chair. But then when Jack went to get to his feet, Harley Race, who was in Big Van Vader's corner, hit Cactus Jack with a stun gun, which kept Jack down for the 10 count, and thus Big Van Vader retaining the WCW Championship. So, spin the wheel, make a deal. First, we'll go with the North American Championship. Johnny, like I said, he didn't have too much good luck with his practice spins. He's going to be challenging Damian Priest. John Smith, what do you have in store for this one?
I got a new champ.
Okay.
I think it's happening for him today or tomorrow, and I think, spoiler alert, it's gonna be a very happy household because I think Canada's gonna be taking hers too.
Okay, now Ryan, do you have any idea? I mean, I know there's a list what people saw were on the Trick or Street fight. I know there's a couple other things. Do you know what these stipulations could possibly be?
No, I mean, I like you said, you see them. Ladder match, those kind of things, casket match, buried alive match, those kind of things. If it's rigged, then it's going to be, let's say, casket match.
Okay.
I'm going to go Priest. I think he's, he won the title in August. He's had 3 title defenses, gets this win over Gargano, and moves on.
All right, John DeConnie. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone right now. I just got a notification. It was involving Halloween Havoc. John DeConnie, who do you got?
Yeah, well, I've already lost probably about a baker's dozen points betting on the Garganos, so why not? I'm going to keep it rolling and go with Johnny.
All right, yeah, I just got a notification from, I don't know if it was from Google or Bleacher Report or whatever it was, that NXT is going to be extended. It's going to be a 2-hour and 8-minute show. So it's going to go past the 10 o'clock hour.
Every week?
I will go with Damian Priest. I think the Garganos will get one. I don't think it's going to be this one, though. I think Damian Priest is still I think he's still too fresh with the title. I don't see any reason to take it off him, to tell you the truth, other than, to the Garganos, but that's not really a good enough reason for me. But yeah, then we have the women's match as well. Io Shirai will once again defend the NXT Women's Championship against Candice LeRae, who defeated Shotzi Blackheart to earn this opportunity. And then, the spin the wheel, make the deal thing was announced. So, like I said, I just mentioned before, and then John, you said it too. I got Candice LeRae. I think I said I called it at TakeOver, so why not now? And she has the secret weapon that they just didn't mention last week, hoping people will forget. But Indy Hartwell is in her back pocket.
Yeah, I like the idea of a ladder match for this one. I hope it is, but I think it might be something a little more violent. I also like the idea that that it's actually truly random, other than and not rigged. Because I like the idea of them having to set up a buried alive match and then never have to use all the dirt. And then what do they do with it?
You make a sandcastle on Connie.
Yeah, give me the Poison Pixie as well.
All right, Ryan Joy, we're going to make you unanimous?
Yeah, I think so. 3 title defenses for Io Shirai. She's 9-0. 100% win percentage. Candice is barely over 500. But I think that's about to turn around.
Now, here's the thing: is that when just real quick, because we actually have extra time here, you guys. We're actually doing okay. NXT was not invited to the Survivor Series this year. I guess as of now, is there still a chance that something happens and there's an invasion? Like I said, I don't know. Brian Joy, you're the one, I guess. You said maybe there was a possible rumor that these rosters are being intentionally split for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely are. For instance, the 205 Live show was moved to the Capitol Wrestling Center to prevent any cross-contamination of people working at the Performance Center and also working at Amway. So they are being kept separate to prevent widespread of the virus. So I don't know. That's as good a reason as any if they're going to make a call to keep them apart.
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys. My heart sank last night when I heard Phillips. One time a year we're Raw fight SmackDown. I'm like, and insane, and he didn't. So maybe they can go back to it next year. I guess.
Hopefully they still have the takeover the night before.
Like I said, War Games is usually their November. This is their big thing. I don't know how they're going to fit a second ring into the Performance Center. The Capitol Wrestling Center. Because War Games, you need 2 rings. They said you have the Undisputed Era on one side, you got Team McAfee on the other. I can hear Regal say it now. War Games. The excitement and enthusiasm that he has. Not to mention, you could throw Dakota, Raquel, Candice, and whoever on one side for the women against Rhea, against Io, against Ember Moon, and maybe Toni Storm. You can have an outstanding women's match as well in War Games. So hopefully, man, next year the Survivor Series we get NXT back into it. And just to give you everybody here watching a heads up, just like we did for SummerSlam, we will be doing a Survivors Series weekend special on Saturday, November 21st. We are going over the times right now. We don't have the graphic yet. Most likely will be 3 o'clock on all of these platforms that you love to watch us on as we are right now. So stay tuned for that. We're excited to do it. I'm already prepping for my Survivor. I got all the numbers ready. This is my favorite time of year. I absolutely love it. But I also love WrestleMania, and it's that wonderful time of year again. We have of the episode, not of the year. That's a wonderful time of the episode. Let's see, put the UWP. There we go. It is our top 30, my favorite WrestleMania countdown, my favorite matches in WrestleMania history, all leading up to WrestleMania 37. We're at number 22 now, which signifies that there are 22 weeks until the Showcase of the Immortals. Right now, still potentially held at SoFi Stadium, which I guess is still up in the air. I mean, if you watched the Rams game last night, there wasn't anybody there, but if you watch a Buccaneers game or a Jaguars game, They got full capacity down in Florida. They're literally the definition of no holds barred down in that state. But so we have right now number 22, and this match, I'm just looking at the graphic now, my little side panel, and it just makes me smile. Again, another match that is just never talked about, and it is just entertaining as all hell. And I was laughing hysterically by the abuse of one of the guys' takes. But let's put it this way. If you get to see Kane drive a golf cart, I'm putting this on my top 30 WrestleMania countdown. From WrestleMania 17, Raven, the WWF Hardcore Champion at the time, had the impossible task of fighting the Big Show and Kane in a triple threat hardcore match that was just all over the backstage area of the Reliant Astrodome. I guess that golf carts were involved. Raven crashed his because he was getting choked by the Big Show. Then Kane was driving with the referee, and then he hit Raven with the golf cart. Then he got out and threw him through a plain glass window, and then Kane and Big Show went through drive. The whole thing was a complete bleep show, and in the most beautiful way I could actually say it. There's the DVD right there. So, yeah, give me Raven. What about me? What about Raven? I'm giving Raven his due on this one. And he said he was the first one announcing that match, and his face was just not happy. He had his golf cart. He had a Frankenstein, the Frankenstein doll on it that he always did back then. And there's none of it worked out. Ended up, Kane got the win. He actually pinned the Big Show at the end. Raven didn't get pinned, but Raven, his body had a lot of glass in it and was bleeding. And I believe, actually, I noticed I was watching with my stepson. Raven was actually wearing an old school Thanos shirt, like before the MCU was cool back in 2001. Raven was wearing a Thanos shirt and he had the Infinity Stones around it. That was pretty cool. So, do we have time, guys? Any thoughts on WrestleMania 17? John Smith, hardcore match. What are your thoughts on that? Never had the chance to talk about this.
I don't remember much about WrestleMania 17, to be honest with you. I've probably only seen it once. But, mostly I remember, the Austin and Vince collabo at the end against The Rock. Yeah. That was pretty intense. It rocked all of our worlds. I don't think anybody saw that coming. No,
never in a million years. That was one of the biggest heel turns ever on the biggest stage ever. The main event of WrestleMania, you do a heel turn. Then you had that match. Eddie Guerrero and Test fought for the European title. Jericho fought William Regal for the Intercontinental title. I believe Jericho tricked Regal into drinking a cup of pee to set up that part of that feud. He pissed in one of Regal's teacups. John McConnell, your thoughts on the Hardcore Championship, WrestleMania 17?
Yeah, I barely remember that match until you started coming back to me I remember Kane on the golf cart with the referee in tow. I remember that. I remember it being a lot of fun and Raven taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, Ryan Joy, you had the DVD right there. What do you think?
I'm remembering there was like temporary walls and stuff in the back that they fought and broke through and stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. A fun match. Jim Ross had a hard time putting it over, as I recall.
Heyman was there. Heyman was calling that match at 17. So and he threw out a little known fact: Heyman's favorite Snapple's Diet Peach. All right, so going forward, man, we did good on time. This is where we should be, boys. An hour 30. This is what I like to say. Make sure you tune into this Friday. We got the prime time rundown with Joey Jarzenka. We have Ian Schreier, and we have Rob DeLuca. They're going to be talking everything non-scripted sports that they do every Friday. Please make sure you tune into them. And I believe Joey had a bunch of his interview series, Primetime Rundown interview series episodes. You can go back onto the Eastern Observer website and rewatch those. Those are really good. Ryan Joy, you want to shoot off the bias and brigade? I gave you a little bit of love earlier. That was a great article on Bailey and Sasha Banks.
Yeah, I appreciate you putting that over. I had a lot of fun with that one. Like I said, I went back to 2014, looked at all the different matches that they had. I also, following that, there was a short article about Impact and Bound for Glory and how, man, did they benefit from that WWE releases in April. Most all the matches, I think 5 out of 7 had talent that was released from WWE in April. So just a little interesting look at that as well. So subscribe, it's free. Cost you nothing.
I don't think did any of them win though. I'm thinking now you mentioned that. I'm thinking because Eric Young lost, Deanna lost, Ryan. Heath. I guess Heath was supposed to win, but Heath lost. Myers lost.
The North won.
EC3 lost. So they all went over.
Good Brothers lost, yeah.
Well, so they got Slammiversary, and then Impact Originals took it back at Bound for Glory.
There you go.
That'll be the undertone of the documentary we watched 3 to 4 years from now.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning us, and everybody watching at home, thank you so much for 25 great episodes. We hope you enjoyed tonight's Silver Week anniversary episode. We always try our hardest. We put our heart and our souls into the show. We appreciate you watching on all of our outlets, on Facebook, which include Minutes to Bell Time, Pro Wrestling Pick'em, and the Eastern Observer. Plus, you can go to the I-95 Sports Network to watch on YouTube, or for all of our loving Zingo TV subscribers, you can tune into channel 198. That is the I-95 Sports Network channel. We are live every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. And we can't thank you enough. We love that you guys watch. We love that you guys are having fun with us. Wrestling is fun. We want to laugh and we want to smile with it. So that's what we try to do. So thank you so much for watching. From Ryan Joy, minutesbelltime.com, John DeConnie, for John Smith, Alexa Bliss, we love you. Tegan Knox, get well soon. We miss you. Lars Sullivan. Puke emoji. So I keep on ruining the mood by doing that, though. It's funny. I don't know. And also, don't forget Tyler Adelle. I forgot to show Tyler's pretty face right here. Tyler's a writer now. Hey, Bill Shakespeare, you writer. Tyler Adele's writing for the articles on the New York Islanders and the New York Yankees. Please make sure you go to the EasternObserver.com and read his stuff. He likes what he likes to say. Read my stuff. So thank you so much for watching. John DeConnie, take us home, pal.
Thanks for joining us. And as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors. Jersey muscle for you, baby.